What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's get into AEW Dynamite from November the 20th, 2024. Not a good show. There were a couple cool things that happened on the show. Overall, it was not a good show, as per usual. And Full Gear is on Saturday, so we will go over the predictions for Full Gear. But we have some news and notes to get into real quick. Note 1. So, AEW, starting next year, they're going to go to Max, which is great. So that's good news. And number 2, AEW is going to start using smaller arenas next year. So that is great. So they're going to start doing some downsizing, which is excellent. They'll probably book shows that can hold probably maybe at best 2,000 people, booking venues that hold 2,000 people. So they'll be on TNA, NXT, NWA, and MLW. They'll probably book those types of venues, which is good. I think them having a small, intimate crowd is going to be good as well. So there's a couple of good things that's happening for AEW, or that will happen for AEW in 2025, and that's good. So I am happy in that regard. But I hope in 2025 that Tony Khan changes the way that he books these shows, because this show was atrocious. One other note, but it's not really a note. Apparently, Toni Storm has retired from AEW, which we all know is a ruse. She will be at Full Gear. That's just common sense. So, there is that. All right. So, we kicked the show off with the first match of the night. All-Star 8-man tag. Will Ospreay, Ricochet, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Mark Davis were defeated by the Don Callis family, Tenosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, Lance Archer, and Brian Cage. I don't give a shit about this. I am sick and tired of multi-man matches. Basically, 6-man tags and 8-man tags are nothing but spot fest. That's all this shit was. Moving on. So, the Death Riders, they're backstage. They're in the back. So John Moxley says he didn't care what kind of person Orange Cassidy is before promising to take him out at Full Gear. He shifts gears to the match between Darby and Claudio Castagnoli. So Claudio then shouts in Swiss about what's going to happen tonight. And then we go to another backstage promo with Darby. And he's promising to take down Claudio. So that's cool, I guess. So interesting stuff there. I do like that. Continuing on. So Renee Paquette, she's backstage interviewing the Hurt Business. So MVP says that Bobby Lashley is going to be in action tonight. Then out of nowhere, Swerve, he blindsides Bobby Lashley, hitting him in the head with a right hand. So that's cool. Good shit there. Good stuff there. Continuing on. So Adam Cole, he's out next. So he reminds everybody that he's not going to be facing MJF at Full Gear. He said that Roderick Strong is going to, because he earned his 3 victories. Adam Cole says that Roderick Strong earning the wins needed to face MJF. He says the two of them have the same goal of beating MJF. That's what he promises Roderick Strong will do at Full Gear. So then Kyle O'Reilly comes out and he talks about the history that Adam Cole and him share. The history makes him the only man who can tell Adam Cole the truth. that this crusade against MJF needs to end. He talks about Roderick Strong wants to end MJF at Full Gear, but at what cost? Adam Cole asks if Kyle O'Reilly doesn't want to see MJF stopped. But Kyle O'Reilly says he knows that what happens when people play with fire, they get burned. So, Kyle then ends the promo by saying that MJF is more evil than Adam Cole, which he considers a good thing, and then that was the end of the promo. So, Cole, like myself and everyone else watching this, looks confused. This is weird. I don't know what's going to go down. Probably in due time, it's going to be a slow heel turn. I don't care about this. I'm not, a fan of Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly looks like he's homeless, like a lot of guys in AEW do. And he's just one of those guys that fit that bill. And I don't know, man. I don't know. Kyle O'Reilly, man, he, I don't know what he needs to do, but he looks like he's malnourished. I'm not trying to be, mean or anything like that, but he does look like he's malnourished. Adam Cole, oof, buddy. Good God. Oof, he looks bad too. Damn. Moving on. So, my bad. Orange Cassidy, he addresses Willie Uter, promising he'll beat him in the ring all on his own. So, the rest of the conglomeration cannot interfere. They offer to have his back, but Orange Cassidy asked him to strongly stay away from the match tonight and at Full Gear. All right, that's fine. Do I care about this? No, I don't. I really don't. Orange Cassidy is going to lose on Saturday. We all know this. So who's next for Moxley after Orange Cassidy loses? Darby? And how long will Darby Allin be champion if he were to defeat Moxley? Probably no more than, at best, a month to 3 months. That's it. The max would be 3 months. Nothing beyond that. So he would be a total transitional champion. Kind of how Damian Priest was for a while. Back in the summer. So, yeah. Well, actually, back in the spring of this year. So, yeah. My bad. Moving on. So, Chris Statlander versus Hikaru Shida. Match was good. So, Chris Statlander wins. She wins via the Wednesday Night Fever. Hikaru Shida is great. I like her. So, good. Good stuff. So, post-match, Chris Statlander was going to offer a handshake to Hikaru Shida. So then it's interrupted by Mercedes Moné and Camille. They step out on stage. So Mercedes tells Reddington to say hello to the CEO. So she makes fun of the Sixers, the 76ers, and talks about how I bring up her Boston Celtics. She talks about how Chris before giving the fans another fun fact, pointing out she saw the TBS championship longer than Chris Statlander before promising she'll never lose the title. So then this leads up to Mercedes telling Camille to go after Statlander and pass the job. So basically, both Hikaru Shida and Chris Statlander, they beat the shit out of Mercedes Moné and Camille. So there is that. Mercedes Moné absolutely sucks. She has been a total flop in AEW. A total failure. A total failure. I have no idea who this woman is. I have no idea who this woman is in the slightest. This is the worst that she's ever looked. She has done some of the most absolute worst things I've seen in a while. This has actually been the absolute worst run of her career so far. This is awful. This is god awful. Oh my God, what in the hell? Mercedes sucks. At this point, she sucks. I don't even know what to even say because, like, damn, like, even her running in WWE was not that bad. Whether it was under Vince or Triple H, it just was not bad. Her main roster stuff was good. But her AEW run is total garbage. Total garbage. How the mighty have fallen. Mercedes really should be ashamed of herself, man. She really should. I hope she didn't sign a 3-year deal in AEW. I hope she did not. I hope she signed a 2-year deal at least. I hope she did. Oh my goodness. Whew. This girl is crashing and burning like crazy. Good God. Moving on. So, Shelton Benjamin and MVP, they're backstage. They're trying to sneak and attack Swerve. So he hands it. They find out that he handed his coat to someone else who takes a cane to the misdirection instead. Okay, that's fine. So Bobby Lashley destroys 2 jobbers by the name of Joe Keys and Cheeseburger. So he wins via the Hurt Lock, and then post-match, Swerve is able to blindside the Hurt Business, and he takes them out all 3 members with a steel chain, which is great. So he showed up like a ninja, took care of business, kicked ass, and he bounced out. So he did the house call into the Swerve Stomp. So that was cool. So Swerve got a little bit of momentum. I do like that. I am interested in Bobby Lashley versus Swerve. I think that's basically one of the only matches that I'm actually a little bit excited about. Same thing with Chris Statlander and Mercedes Moné. So we'll have to wait and see. Moving on. Next, we got some really cool stuff involving Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa. So they're ready to team up together on Rampage. Ahead of Mariah May getting her championship celebration at Full Gear. She talks about being at the top of the women's division, and Mina promises a celebration she'll never forget, and then they both start jiggling their titties, which was great. I loved it. Excellent. More of this, please. More of this. Ooh wee. Ooh la la. Let's get it. Let's get it. Good stuff here. Good stuff. We all know that Tony Storm is going to show up at Full Gear. That's common sense. Tony Storm is never going to retire. I don't even know why this is even a thing. Like, it's dumb. It's dumb. Moving on. Claudio Castagnoli defeats Darby Allin. Darby Allin gets slammed on top of the announce table. Claudio threw him like a damn lawn dart. Like a damn dart. That thing was nasty. I'm like, damn. So Claudio wins via just a simple lariat. So, and then he also did the Cesaro swing on the steel steps on the outside. So that was cool too. Moving on. So Renee Paquette, she's backstage. She's talking to Private Party about their upcoming Fatal 4-Way at Full Gear. And then we see the Costco guys, Big Justice and some other guy. And then they talked about his big announcement. I'm like, what the hell? What is this shit? What the fuck is this shit? Who the fuck is... who the fuck are the Costco guys? Who's Big Justice? Who's AJ? Who the fuck? What the hell? Oh my god, this is stupid. This is retarded. So, moving on. So, MJF, he's pulling up somewhere. I guess he's at Roderick Strong. My bad. I guess he's at Roderick Strong's old trailer, I guess. I don't know. I don't fucking know. They're somewhere. Him and this one guy. So they talk about, he talks about what Roderick Strong's willing to do for his best friend Adam Cole. He runs down Adam Cole. So Max promises to send Roderick Strong back where he belongs in a physical anguish. So that's fine. So this was an okay little promo by MJF. He talked about the trauma that Roderick Strong has experienced in his life. So there is that, I guess. Moving on. So Big Boom and Big Justice. So he's going to be taking on Tukey Marshall at Full Gear 0 Hour. Who gives a shit? So AJ talks about the importance of bringing the Boom to AEW. And then he announces that the Rizzler will be the one ringing the bell for their match. What the hell? What? Huh? Say what? What kind of shit is this? Moving on. Roderick Strong cuts a horrible promo. It went on way too long. It went like 3 minutes. It should have been no more than like a minute. Or actually, no, probably 30 seconds. So Roderick Strong and the Kingdom, they come out. Roderick Strong calls out MJF's privilege before saying he's done everything he has. Roderick Strong wants Max to look in the mirror and start thinking about everything he's done and realize that at Full Gear, he'll pay for all those sins. When it's all over, Roderick Strong says he will earn the best night's sleep in his life. And he'll break MJF's back and leave him humble. Pause. Whack promo. Not a good promo. Moving on, so basically, Jack Perry is abducted by Daniel Garcia and Daddy Magic. So there's that. So he's in some undisclosed location. Garcia is confronted with my bad. So Garcia just starts talking shit to Jack Perry. Jack Perry starts talking about sacrifice. And so Daniel Garcia cuts him off, promising he'll never go to the place Jack Perry wants him to go. And so then Garcia takes a crowbar and he destroys the skate mobile to send a message to Jack Perry. He just laughs. And then both Matt Menard and Daniel Garcia makes their exit. Whack shit. Just whack. This dumb shit. Oof. Moving on. So Chris Jericho, he has a segment with Tomohiro Ishii. No one cares about this. Jericho's running away from Tomohiro Ishii. He signs the contract. The Learning Tree, they beat up Tomohiro Ishii. And then the rest of the conglomeration, they make the save and take out the Learning Tree. Who gives a shit? Fuck this garbage. Awful. Just awful. Moving on. So, Jamie Hayter, she's backstage with Renee Paquette. She's about to address Julia Hart for her being interrupted by her last week, and then she gets it again. She's interrupted twice. And we get a really cool vignette of her shooting bow and arrows and stuff. When she was just basically Julia, doing cheerleading and other stuff like that. So my bad. So she's reverting back to her House of Black character. That's cool. I do like that. So really cool stuff there. Main event. I wanted to burn my television to the fucking ground. Orange Cassidy defeats Wheeler Yuta. Who cares? Post-match. The Death Riders, they come out and they beat up Orange Cassidy. And he's duct taped. And then the conglomeration, they show up again. And Mark Briscoe is able to cut through the duct tape. And Orange Cassidy starts to taunt Jon Moxley. And the two of them have a stare down from the stage. Moxley from the crowd. So there's that. And that was Dynamite. Who gives a shit? This sucks. This sucks. I don't care about any of this. I really don't. Not a good show. The titty shaking from Mina Shirakawa and Mariah May, that was great. Loved that. Bobby Lashley destroying two jobbers is cool. That's excellent. Swerve getting a little bit of momentum. That's cool as well. So good stuff there. Other than that, this show sucked. This show sucked. As per usual. All right, let's get into the predictions for Full Gear. We have 9 matches on the card, so that's cool, which is great. So 9 matches is fine. Maybe this should end in 3.5 hours instead of 4, maybe even 3 hours. I think that would be great, but it probably won't happen. So Big Boom AJ, he's going to take on QT Marshall. Who cares? Big Boom is going to win. I don't give a fuck. Fuck this. Moving on, Jay White versus Hangman Adam Page. Hangman's going to win. This feels just like a regular match that would take place on a Collision or even a Dynamite. So take your pick. That's how most of these matches feel. Moving on, Private Party, the Outrunners, the Kings of the Black Throne, and the acclaimed Fatal 4-Way for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Private Party, they're going to retain, obviously. So, yeah. This should be fine. Another match that feels like it should be on Collision or Dynamite. Moving on, another match that I'm looking forward to. One of the matches, Chris Statlander versus Mercedes Moné for the for the AEW TBS Championship. I want Chris Statlander to win, but we know she's not going to. So, unfortunately, we have to go with the awful, pathetic Mercedes Moné. So, there's that. Moving on, Jack Perry versus Daniel Garcia for the AEW TNT Championship. Daniel Garcia will probably end up winning. It makes sense. I don't really care about it. Moving on, Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay's going to win. Like, why wouldn't he? Like, that's common sense. MJF versus Roderick Strong. MJF. Why wouldn't he win that one? That's another match that seems like it should be on Dynamite or Collision, either or. Swerve versus Bobby Lashley. Great. Who should win this? I'm kind of conflicted. Bobby Lashley just got there. So maybe Bobby Lashley wins this one, and then this just continues their feud into World's End in December, and then maybe Swerve gets his win back, and then maybe next year Swerve gets his win back again. So I don't know. I'm just worried what's going to happen to Bobby Lashley after his feud with Swerve is over. I'm worried about that. I really am. That, to me, is scary. Main event, Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy for AEW World Championship. Jon Moxley. Shane McMahon has got to show up on Saturday. He has to. He has to show up. This Moxley takeover angle for AEW is worthless. This is pathetic. This is total garbage. Total shit. And Shane McMahon has to show up. He can't show up at World's End. He has to show up on Saturday. He has to. He's the only saving grace for this storyline. If he does not show up and it's somebody like a Sami Callihan, then AEW has failed. You can bring Sami Callihan in whenever you want to. Damn. But I'm not really all that excited for Full Gear. It basically just seems like most of the matches feel like they would take place on Collision or Dynamite. Take your pick. So, there's that. I'm going to go over the matches. Go over my predictions one more time. So, MJF will defeat Roderick Strong. Mercedes will retain her TBS Championship. Bobby Lashley will defeat Swerve. Daniel Garcia will defeat Jack Perry. Will Ospreay, he'll defeat Kyle Fletcher. Private Party, they'll win the Fatal 4-Way to retain their Tag Team Championships. Big Boom will defeat QT Marshall. Who gives a fuck? Hangman will defeat Jay White. And Jon Moxley will retain the AEW World Championship, and we will see one Shane McMahon. So what did you guys think of AEW Dynamite, and what are your predictions for Full Gear? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.